Okay, everyone, stop what you're doing. Before you buy your next car, we need to talk about a war that's been going on for over 100 years. We're not talking about Ferrari versus Lamborghini or red versus yellow. We're talking about something much more personal. Something that divides families, friends, and entire group chats. Diesel or gasoline? If you've ever heard your coworker swear that diesel uses less fuel, while your neighbor tells you gasoline is way more fun to drive, well, today we're finding out who's right. Spoiler, probably both of them and neither of them at the same time. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which engine is right for you. How they work without putting you to sleep. Let's start with the basics. I promise, no boring physics lecture. A gasoline engine works a bit like a party with fireworks. Air and fuel mix together, and then the spark plug shows up, literally a spark, and lights the whole thing up in a nice controlled explosion. Boom, energy, the piston moves, the car goes forward. A diesel engine, on the other hand, is more like a quiet, methodical bodybuilder. No sparks, no fireworks. Here, the air gets compressed so hard, so violently, that it becomes scorching hot. We're talking over 700 degrees. And when the diesel fuel gets injected, it ignites on its own, just from the pressure and heat. No spark needed, just brute force. So right away, we've got our first personality clue. Gasoline is the bright, quick-reacting spark. Diesel is the quiet strength working hard in silence. Actually, scratch silence. At low RPMs, diesel is anything but quiet, with that classic talk, talk, talk sound we all recognize. Fuel consumption, the big myth. And here we are at the first big showdown, fuel consumption. The popular legend says diesel uses less fuel. And that's true. But it's not the whole story. Diesel fuel packs more energy per liter than gasoline, and diesel engines typically have a higher compression ratio, which makes them more efficient. The result? On the highway over long distances, a diesel can genuinely save you hundreds of dollars a year compared to an equivalent gasoline car. But, and this is a big but, if you only drive short trips around town, the diesel doesn't even have time to warm up properly. It ends up using more fuel than expected, clogs up the particulate filter, and in the long run costs you more in maintenance than it ever saved you at the pump. So the real question isn't which one uses less fuel, it's how do you actually drive? A diesel is like a marathon runner. It performs best over long distances. A gasoline engine is more of a sprinter. It starts strong, warms up instantly, and feels right at home in city traffic. Maintenance and reliability. Now let's talk about the hidden costs, the ones no salesperson will ever bring up with a smile. Diesel engines are mechanically tougher. They have to be, to withstand that insane pressure we talked about earlier. But that toughness comes at a price. More expensive parts to repair, like injectors, the turbo, and above all the dreaded particulate filter, which can cost you $1,000 or more to replace if it clogs up. Gasoline engines, on the other hand, are generally simpler and cheaper to fix. Spark plugs and ignition coils are less expensive and easier to find. But, another big but, a gasoline engine pushed hard, especially a turbocharged one, tends to have a shorter lifespan if it's not well looked after. And this is where the uncomfortable question comes in. How many miles are you actually going to put on this car? If you're planning to keep it for 10 years and rack up 150,000 to 200,000 miles, a well-maintained diesel can really pay for itself. If you trade in your car every 3 or 4 years, this whole discussion becomes almost irrelevant. Okay, enough numbers. Let's talk about feel, because driving isn't just math. Gasoline is the dancer of the couple. It revs fast, loves climbing the ERPMs, and responds instantly the moment you hit the gas. And on a sports car, that sound climbing all the way to 7,000 RPM is pure music. If you love spirited driving, gasoline gives you that light, responsive feeling. Diesel, on the other hand, is the weightlifter of the couple. It doesn't like revving high, but at low and mid RPMs, it pulls beautifully. That instant push, that huge amount of torque already available at 1,500 revolutions per minute, is perfect for towing a trailer, driving vans, or heavy SUVs, or simply for anyone who loves smooth, effortless, overtaking without constantly downshifting. So if your dream is a winding mountain road with the engine singing, gasoline wins. If your dream is a comfortable highway trip towing a camper without any stress, diesel wins hands down. We can't wrap up this video without addressing the elephant in the room, the environment. In recent years, diesel has been through a real media reckoning, especially after the emissions cheating scandal at a major automaker. Diesel engines produce less CO2 but more nitrogen oxides and fine particulate matter, the stuff we breathe in big cities. That's why many European cities are introducing low-emission zones specifically targeting older diesel vehicles. Gasoline engines fare a bit better on this front in urban settings, but they still produce more CO2 per liter burned. And here's the real news. This whole diesel versus gasoline debate will probably feel like a relic of the past in a few years, because electric vehicles are advancing fast. But for now, if you're buying a car today, this distinction still matters a lot. So, to sum it up in 30 seconds, go diesel if you drive a lot of miles, especially on the highway, if you tow heavy loads, and if you keep your car for a long time. Go gasoline if you mostly drive around town, if you love responsiveness, and if you tend to change cars often. There's no absolute winner in this war. There's only the right car for your lifestyle. So, which side are you on? Team diesel or team gasoline? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see your arguments. If this video helped clear things up for you, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be talking about by everyone.